Hi, I'm going to start this one. It's Blackadder Goes Forth. Young Stephen Fry.
Now, Field Marshal Haig has formulated a brilliant new tactical plan to ensure final victory in the field.
Would this brilliant plan involve us climbing out of our trenches and walking very slowly towards the enemy, sir?
How could you possibly know that, Blackadder? It's classified information.
It's the same plan that we used last time, and the 17 times before that.
Exactly. And that is what is so brilliant about it. It will catch the watchful Hun totally off guard. Doing precisely what we've done 18 times before is exactly the last thing they'll expect us to do this time. There is, however, one small problem.
That everyone always gets slaughtered in the first 10 seconds.
That's right. And Field Marshal Haig is worried that this may be depressing the men attached. So, he's looking to find a way to cheer them up.
Well, his resignation and suicide would seem the obvious.
Interesting thought. Make a note of it, darling.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Except it was broke. Trench warfare. I mean, the British had a brutal Battle of the Somme with really heavy casualties in the trenches. What year was this recorded, though? 80s, 90s? It appears to be a pre-Mr. Bean Rowan Atkinson.
The healthy humour of the honest Tommy. Don't worry, my boy. If you should falter, remember that Captain Darling and I are behind you.
About 35 miles behind.
Well, you know what this means?
If it's true, sir, we'll have to cancel the push.
Exactly.
What a nuisance.
Exactly what the enemy would expect us to do, and therefore exactly what we shan't do.
Now,
If we attack where the line is strongest, then Fritz will think that our reconnaissance is a total shambles. This will lull him into a sense of false security. And then next week, we can attack where the line is actually badly defended and win the greatest victory since the Winchester flower arranging team beat Harrow by 12 sore bottoms to 1. At ease, everybody. Now, where's my map? Come on. Sir. Thank you. God, it's a barren, featureless desert out there, isn't it?
The other side, sir.
Of course I am. Now, let's talk about something more jolly, shall we? Look, this is the amount of land we've recaptured since yesterday.
Oh, excellent.
What is the actual scale of this map, darling?
1 to 1, sir.
Come again.
The map is actually life-size, sir. It's superbly detailed. Look, there's a little worm.
Oh, yes. So the actual amount of land retaken is?
Excuse me, sir. 17 square feet, sir.
Excellent. So you see, young Blackadder didn't die horribly in vain after all.
A German spy is giving away every one of our battle plans.
You look surprised, Blackadder.
I certainly am, sir. I didn't realize we had any battle plans.
Well, of course we have. How else do you think the battles are directed?
Our battles are directed, sir.
Well, of course they are, Blackadder, directed according to the grand plan.
Would that be the plan, to continue with total slaughter until everyone's dead except Field Marshal Haig, Lady Haig, and their tortoise, Alan?
Great Scott! Even you know it! Bolt all the doors! Hammer large pieces of crooked wood against all the windows! This security leak is far worse than we'd imagined.
I was wondering whether, having been tortured by the most vicious sadist of the German army, I might be allowed a week's leave to recuperate, sir.
Excellent idea. Your commanding officer would have to be stark raving mad to refuse you.
Well, you are my commanding officer.
Well,
No.
Can I have a week's leave to recuperate, sir?
certainly not.
Thank you, sir.
Best of luck to you all. Sorry I can't be with you, but obviously there's no place at the front for an old general with a dicky heart and a wooden bladder. By the way, George, if you want to accompany me back to HQ and watch the results as they come in, I think I can guarantee a place in the car.
Oh, no, thank you, sir. I wouldn't miss this show for anything. I'm as excited as a very excited person who's got a special reason to be excited, sir.
Excellent. Well, chuff then. See you all in Berlin for coffee and cakes.
He kept calling him Darling because his surname was Darling, or did I mishear that? So could you imagine how frustrating it must be for your leader to come up with seemingly half-baked ideas that they don't have to suffer the consequences of? They really made fun of the ridiculousness of it all. and some of the more sad truths with really poignant writing. That made me want to watch the whole thing. I would offer to watch it on the channel, but it seems more that it would be a show I would enjoy best in full episodes instead of clips. But leave your opinion on that. If you want to watch more on the channel and you have a good clip compilation, I'll catch it after I see the series. I've said before, anytime history is mixed with comedy, I'm interested. In that I'm simple. I like history jokes and really dark comedy. And maybe the former a little bit better. But the person who sent in this video said if I do end up catching the series, I should skip season 1. I don't know if that's because season 1 has a different storyline or if it's not as good. If someone can please explain the lore to me on that one. This was a good supplement to a more serious World War I video we saw earlier this month on the events of the year 1914. Which, if you're into history, I'll link that for you in case you missed it. Other than that, this was a quick one. Leave your thoughts on this. And if you have any other British comedy recommendations, tell me. I'm making my way through them. So because this was a British series, I'll go with a British author. And I'm trying to stick with satire, although this is going to have absolutely zero to do with World War I. I will link some World War I related literature I've mentioned in previous videos down in the description. But today's book is called Among the Thugs by Bill Buford. And I've seen this story compared to A Clockwork Orange. I definitely understand why. It's a story of a friend group who is very loyal to their football club, which is Manchester United. And they love going to pubs and they love the Queen and have a strong sense of nationalism in general. But they also wreak havoc on their city. Borderline football club terrors. So I'll link that for you. I have never seen a free audiobook version of that, but I'm going to look. And if I find it, I'll link that version as well. And if you end up liking it, there's this series on Netflix called Puerta Siete that has the same type of archetype of characters. It's a story of crime, corruption, and really intense football fans. Continuing on with the theme, we'll go with British musicians. And the first one's an older song. Well, it's not even that old relative to the band. Depeche Mode's Precious. They became big, in the 80s? And then this song, I think, is from the early thousands. Synth pop rock genres. I recently heard that on the radio, which is why it's fresh in my mind. But the next track is one I would never hear on the radio. It's from a DJ producer from South London called Ben Hawk. The track is Get Up to Get Down. Ben Hawk makes jazz, electronic, sometimes house music, mostly instrumental, but there are some tracks where he samples older songs. This is from the Only Old album. Another song I like from Ben Hawk is called I Kinda Missed It. So I'll actually link both of those. And let's go LSF by Kasabian as an honorable mention, because I believe Kasabian's from the UK. Don't quote me on that. I think Fire is their most popular song, but LSF should be up there. So all 4 of those are going to be down below. Leave your music recommendations. And that's really all I have today. This was a very quick one. So thank you for watching with me, and I'll catch you in the next.